huddle up.
Let's huddle up.
Let's do it. Guys,
We're back.
You are our first season 2 episode. This is it. We took a little hiatus this summer. Okay. We got a little busy.
That's right. But it feels good. We're back here at the home of the Huddle podcast, International Tap House, at the Crossroads location this time.
Crossroads. Shout out ITAP.
Shout out ITAP. How many beers on tap?
Well, I think this one only has like 62.
62, 63.
At least it's like 190.
Give or take.
Yeah, at least
But we're sipping on a little bourbon, though, today, actually.
You guys sipping on a little bourbon. Coach Tang and I are sipping on a little water.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce these awesome guests we have?
We have, without a doubt, 2 of the most electric guys in the entire basketball world.
No doubt.
Especially in college. We've got Coach Tang and Coach Dowling from Kansas State University.
Give it up for them.
Let's go. Let's go. Guys, welcome to Kansas City. I mean, you're not new to Kansas City by any means, but welcome to the Huddle Podcast. We appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. What brings you guys to KC?
There's an Oktoberfest event that's going on, and got invited to it. And my wife's out of town, so the next best guess was Jerome.
There you go.
No, actually, I called Gene Taylor.
Yeah.
And asked him if he wanted to come with me because I said you're the best beer drinker I know. So, but he has a Big 12 meeting that he had to go to, so he couldn't come.
I love it.
Hey, he does love some Bud Light.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I love it. Well, that's awesome, guys. I mean, we're honored to have you guys here. There's a lot of things you could be doing, right? And to take time to come speak to us means a lot. And so let's talk. I mean, going on 3rd season now, right? Manhattan.
Starting the 3rd season.
Starting the 3rd season,
Yep.
okay? Had an amazing start, okay? You've done amazing things. And I'll never forget. I'm going to get goosebumps talking about it. Mark my words. I'll never forget your speech when you took the job and showed up Manhattan. And I think you were you on the West Side Stadium? Or no, you were in
Shamrock.
You were in Shamrock Zone.
Shamrock,
That's right.
yeah.
Shout out Bill Ryan. And I used to work for Bill Ryan, just so you know.
But those are
Back in the
great
day.
guys.
Back in the day.
Great
But
guys.
You were giving your speech, and I immediately said to my wife, I said, this cat's going to win, and he's going to win right away. Because that mentality that all of you guys have, right? I mean, Manhattan is a very special place. But it's not like you're trying to recruit in Austin, Texas, or in Miami, right? You're recruiting in Manhattan, Kansas. So tell us about, like, what was that first year like? Like, was it a culture shock at all being in Manhattan?
No, not really. My high school job, I was a high school coach for 10 years. I was a youth pastor at the church in Cleveland, Texas. So when I say Cleveland, when I was in Texas, people would be like, oh, when I say Cleveland here, they all think of Ohio.
Right,
you know?
right.
But Cleveland, Texas, town of 10,000 people. And, it's just so, like, every place has something that makes it unique and special. And every place has something that, is a problem. You wish you had this or wish you had that. If you spend all your time, it's kind of like I say in marriage, like if you spend all your time focused on the 20% of the things you don't like about your wife, rather than the 80% that you love about her, you're going to end up divorced.
Yeah.
Right? And so we choose to focus on what makes Manhattan special.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And there are kids out there that they don't want to live in a big city. Right? Really good basketball players who don't want to be in a big city, or they don't want to be in a certain time. They would like the small college town. They like being the NFL or in NBA team. And so you just have to find those. You got to recruit to your niche.
Yep. I love that.
We must be doing something right. I mean, I keep seeing in the news, it's like, I feel like 10 years ago when I saw Kansas State, I didn't see your name attached to all these 5-star guys. And now all of a sudden it's like, I see K-State right in the mix.
Dude, I remember when we got Beasley, my freshman year, Michael Beasley, and it literally shut the entire town down. Now you're getting 5, 6, 7 Michael Beasleys all on one team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you guys have been able to do, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Not yet. Not by Beasley is a different. Yeah. So that's a little different beast.
Are you the only coach that you won National Coach of the Year? Correct.
I did.
So, are we the first coach ever to win it in your first year at a program? I don't know the answer. You might be.
I don't know the answer, but I'm just going to say yes.
I feel like it has to
the
be.
first one I know.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty, right there, that tells you a lot.
100%.
That's pretty amazing.
What that says is that I have a great staff, and we had really good players.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. How do you guys know each other? Like, you guys didn't coach together at Baylor, did you?
No.
You were at North Texas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you guys know each other?
I was his assistant coach.
Yes, he was my assistant.
No
coach.
kidding.
Yeah, on the U.S. Virgin Islands team.
Yeah, for 11 years.
So that had to be way back in the day. No?
About 6, 7
Oh,
years
for the
ago.
national team.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
for the national team.
So here's what I just got out of this. You have 2 head coaches on one team, essentially. That caliber, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I think I got 5.
right.
Maybe they're just. I got a really great staff, but yeah, we you at Slippery Rock?
Yes.
He was a Division II assistant, and I was at Baylor. And I wanted to work with one of the national teams because I was born in Trinidad, grew up in St. Croix. So I contacted both federations and told them, to see if they had any interest. And the guys from the Virgin Islands, Ronnie and Uzi Richards, reached out to me, gave me the opportunity, and I told them, I just want to help.
Yeah.
And wherever you need me, I'll help. And they asked me if I'd be the assistant for the younger team, and I was fired up about it. And
Crazy.
That's wild.
yeah, Reem did all the heavy lift. He did because I couldn't be there for all summer.
Yeah.
But I could be there for a few weeks. So I'd come in after he cut the team and.
Yeah, he made me cut all the players. I did with the parents.
Have the tough conversation.
Yeah. There you go.
So did you guys both play ball back in the day?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you my story. My career high was 38 against Baylor. And he was an assistant coach at Baylor.
Serious?
I was playing at Maryland Eastern Shore, and I went off against Baylor. I couldn't miss. But we didn't know each other at the
That's
time.
hilarious.
Though. Yeah.
How cool is that?
And I had dreads then, too.
No kidding.
Hold on.
We're gonna have to pull that picture up after this.
Do either you guys fish?
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you got friends who fish.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
And do you ever see the fish they caught
Yeah.
and then listen to them tell the story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fish doesn't shrink, right?
He just keeps stretching a little further in front of that camera.
It's like I got 38 points and 40, 42.
No. He had 22 points.
22.
We verified it. He had 22 points. It said it's been at 40 before. He's like,
Yeah.
that fish was this big.
Who won that game?
It was close. It was close.
Was it?
No,
It was close in the first half.
Actually, it was a blowout. It was 50-28 at halftime. We ended up winning by 20 something, and he did have 22. He was 5 for 7 from 3, but he was shooting 14% from 3 coming into the game.
So he wasn't even on your radar.
On
then.
the scouting report, it was a short closeout guy, right? Short closeout, and then he's making the threes, but we're up big, so it didn't matter.
You know what my favorite thing about this is? You guys are buddies, and I can tell it.
Yeah, you
know what I'm
can.
saying? Like, you get that coaching staff, that they're there, they're coaching together. Like you two, your personalities are great together, right?
He's my big brother. I love him unconditionally. Even when he yells at me, I feel as though he yells at me the most on staff. He has this thing when he says stop twice in the staff meeting. That's when I know to shut up.
Yeah.
That's when I know I've gone too far.
We don't say that we work together. We say we live life together.
Yeah.
And that's with the whole staff. If you came and spent time with the whole staff, you'd walk away and go, man, they all like each other.
Yeah.
And leadership is service, right? It's not control, power, authority. It's service. And I firmly believe God put me in this position to serve my staff and to serve our players. And if I set that example of service, then they will follow the lead, and our players will then follow the lead.
For sure. And that's a lot of coaching these college kids is you're not just coaching to be great athletes. You're coaching to be great men when the game is over. And Coach Snyder, I'll never forget. He goes, I don't care if you play one down or you play every down. I don't care if you retire in the NFL Hall of Fame or you don't make it at all. My goal is where you can find a wife, you can have a family, you can run a successful career, and you be a good man. And if I can do that, in your time here, 4.5 years with me here at Kansas State, I'll be a successful coach, and we'll win a lot of football games.
That's really good.
And so just like what you said,
We say that we develop great men who can be great husbands and great fathers.
Yep.
And that's what's important.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. So, all right. So you guys coached together, right? You were underneath Coach Dowling.
Yeah,
And so then you guys went your separate ways. You were at Baylor for how long?
19 years. Now, we were together, 11 summers, though.
Yeah.
11 summer. Okay,
Yeah.
that was summer ball.
Summer ball.
Yeah,
Every summer, pretty much, I would go back for anywhere from a week to 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so we'd coach the team, then we'd travel. We've been to Brazil, Chile, Mexico,
Panama, Puerto
Panama.
Rico.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Dominican,
Yeah.
the Dominican, he couldn't wear his gold chains in the Dominican.
No kidding.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
They'll take it?
Yeah. They'll take it real quick.
will.
I just tucked it in. I didn't take it off. I
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it tucked it in.
Now, where did you guys just play out this last year where you guys had to have like official security crew with you? Were you,
Went to Israel.
you were in Israel, that's right.
Yeah.
Right before all this popped off, huh?
Yeah, we were there 2 months.
That's a little scary.
Before it popped off. Like, you just think the plans were in place, right? They were putting the finishing touches on the plans, and we heard.
Yeah,
it.
little did you know.
Man, didn't know. But it was, it was crazy. And it popped off on October 7th. That's my birthday. Yeah, so it's.
Wow.
So how'd you get in touch with Scott Drew? Or how did you guys cross paths?
Yeah, it's another divine God story.
Yeah.
Scott, at the private school that I coached at, we had our I-20, and so we could bring in foreign kids. And Scott had gotten the commitment from Mamadou Dieng, and he was the first commitment, 7-footer from Senegal. And so I was like, man, he has to place him somewhere in the States to help him develop, before he comes to Baylor. And so I wanted to get in contact with him. Well, I knew a guy. Well, no, there's a guy who knew me. I didn't know him from Adam, really. Like, if I saw him, I would know. But he knew me, and he called Scott, and he said, hey, if you need a recruiter in Texas, right, a Christian guy in Texas, Jerome Tang's your guy. And Scott told him, hey, thank you, appreciate it, it's really nice, but I already know who I'm going to hire, what about it? So then he gets into Texas, and he talks to Mike Kunstadt, and who does the ratings for the high school basketball players in the state. And he's telling Mike about his plan and how he's going to place bigs at different prep schools, foreign bigs, and he can recruit guards from the States, but it's hard to get good bigs. And Mike Kunstadt says, well, man, you and Jerome Tang will be good friends. And he's like, so it's the second time he heard my name. He said, well, what do you know about Jerome? And Mike told a real nice story about me, was very complimentary of me. And so, Coach went about it. Well, then he calls Hal Pastner, who ran the Houston Hoops, right? Josh Pastner, his son, was an assistant at Arizona, and Josh and I coached the Hoops together. I worked for Mr. Pastner for like 10 years in the summertime.
Yeah.
And so he calls Mr. Pastner, and he's telling Mr. Pastner about the niche of Baylor, right? Christian school, small town, that kind of thing. And Mr. Pastner says, well, man, you're going to need to get to know Jerome Tang because it fit.
Right.
And so now he heard my name 3 times from 3 different people. And
He's like, I got to get to know this guy.
happened to be positive, right? And so Mr. Pastner, he told me he had talked to him. I said, well, I need his number because I'm trying to get his big kid.
Yeah.
And so I called Coach, and I left a message for him. It was on a Wednesday. And no, it wasn't on Wednesday. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I left a message for him. He called me back like 10 o'clock at night, right? Like doesn't sleep. Like, so 10 o'clock at night. And I said, hey, Coach, I know you're busy. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I'm just calling about the big kid that you got the commitment from. I have my I-20. We got a place for him to stay. We got a weight room. We play a national schedule. Nobody will get to him, all of that. And he goes, hey, Mamadou's promised his family that he would graduate from the school he's at in Senegal, so he's not coming over. But, man, I really want to get to know you. I really want to meet you. That was like code word for coaching to come like, hey, I want to give you a fake interview, but I really don't want to hire you.
Right.
And I'd had that happen to me a couple times before, and bad taste in my mouth.
And then you had him over to your house for dinner, right?
Well, first it was 45 minutes on the phone when you tell Scott Drew no that he's trying to pound you to get you to come, because the worst thing you can do is tell Coach no.
Yeah.
Right. And what happened to be the best thing I could have done, for the job, right?
Right.
And so after 45 minutes of him trying to convince me to drive to Waco, I was like, all right, man, to get this dude off the phone, I'm gonna come. So I don't even tell my wife, right? So I get up on it's a Tuesday. I think I used her car because I drove a 92 Honda Accord, had 300,000
Yeah,
miles on it,
there it
stick
is.
shift, bumper was hanging because dudes who I taught my guys how to drive
Yeah,
the
yeah.
car, and
That's
one of
awesome.
them ran into a pole, right? and so, and so I take my wife's car, I drive up there, and we meet for like 3.5 hours, man. And I met the staff, met with him, and he had a list of 100 questions, and he got to question number 3. You know, you like movies? And I'm a movie guy, and I mean, we must have talked for an hour about movies, just like liked all the same movies. Well, you get done with it, and he says, "Hey, you know, man, everybody says you were up here. I thought you'd be about there, but man, you're like way up there." He said, "But, you know, I don't know you, and you just don't hire people you don't know." And I gave him a hug. I said, "Coach, if God wants me at Baylor, there's nothing you can do to stop it. If God doesn't want me at Baylor, there's nothing you can do to make it happen."
Yeah.
And I left. So Thursday morning, he gets up, and he's gonna hire this other guy, and he calls his dad, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna hire this guy, but man, I really like this guy from Texas." And his dad says, "Well, why don't you hire the guy from Texas?" And he said, "Well, I don't know him." And he said, "Well, go eat dinner at his house. And if you eat dinner at a man's house, you'll find out everything you need to
Find
know about
everything
him."
you know. Yep.
Right? And so he calls me. Now, this is our third conversation. He calls, "Hey, can I come have dinner at your house on Saturday?"
Yeah, that's kind of a strange request.
Right? And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, coach, you can come, but you got to come like at night. Like it's got to be late, right? Because we got a football game. I don't need people asking questions. Why is this dude around? You know, that kind of thing." And so now I have to tell my wife, and then we gathered all the money we had, right? All the cash we had was $10.81, and we bought a half a slab of ribs because we had a half a slab in the fridge already, and we bought some potato salad and loaf of bread. And Scott shows up on Saturday night. My mother-in-law comes over, and I don't know how she knew who he was, but she did. And
Yeah.
said, my son-in-law can really coach, and he got really good players. And he left. My son, who was 2 at the time, acted up. So I took him in the back. He got a spanking. He came back out. we sat down at the table and ate ribs, and we got done. He said, "Man, you know, I don't care. I hadn't finished my degree yet.
Yeah.
I don't care you don't have your degree, and we're gonna help you get that done." And he said, "But the job is yours." And then he says, "But I can only offer you $70,000." Right? I was making 16.
Wow.
$1,000 at the time. And I just made my wife quit her job. She was pregnant with our daughter, and our insurance had just lapsed because after 30 days, right? And so God provided a job and insurance and everything we needed.
What a story.
That's an
man.
amazing story.
Oh, man, it's
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask you about. I read that. Was that a requirement that you got your degree from Baylor, or was that something
No.
he just kind of helped you along the way?
No, they just helped me along. I took 30 hours at Baylor. I actually got the degree from Charter Oak State College,
Okay.
an online school. And
So you first initially were coaching, and then kind of got your bachelor's at the same time.
I coached for 2 years, and then I started the classes, and I'd be up all day doing basketball stuff, and then
Yeah.
I'd go back to the office like at 10 o'clock at night and be there from 10 to 2. And,
Man,
you know,
Grinding.
yeah, but we got it
that's
done.
that's an incredible story.
That's amazing. Speaking of grinding, you guys are in Shark Week right now, aren't you?
No, that's. I'm scared of Shark Week. It's over. It's been over for 2 weeks, but I've still been getting up at like 5:30 a.m. because during Shark Week, everybody was waking up at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Having staff meetings at 5 or 5:30 every morning before we have the guys on the court at 6 a.m.
So talking about Shark Week, I mean, that's essentially, let's figure out if these guys are ready to go. Is that what that is all? I mean, kind of like training camp?
Yeah, like Coach has been saying it a lot recently, and I've been here for 3 years working with him, but now I really grasp and understand it. You get to see who the Sharks are on your team, you know, because it brings out a different energy, a different stress level, different temperature in the room, and, you know, it's like, it just nonstop from the time the whistle blows, and you see who's made for it, who's the tough guys, who you want to go down that dark alley with.
Yeah. Yeah. Who, if you had to say your time in Manhattan, who's the number one Shark? Like, who did you know that no matter what, I'm going down that dark alley with that cat?
Marquise Noel.
I was going to say it had to be Marquise.
Okay.
Agree.
Speaking of Marquise, I got to bring this up. That play was scripted, right? It had to have been, man. Dude, I jumped out of my seat when that happened.
Yeah.
It looked like you're yelling at him, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was wild.
You know what was really wild? It was how much attention it got, and like we had people break it down. Like some of our fans, they're just incredible. Like they gave the hand signal, like Desi did this to like give the hand signal that this was the fake play, and then coach does it, and then you see him count down 2, 1, and then I mean, people did all kind of breakdowns of it, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was like,
That is wild.
yeah.
You know what's crazy is probably 10 seconds before the play happened, a lot of people don't notice this, but Marquise Noel looks over to, I think, Mateen Cleaves.
It was Mateen Cleaves and Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas in the crowd, and he told them, watch this, to them before doing that play.
No kidding.
Yeah, people don't notice that part. They got to go back and look at that part.
What a badass.
Dude, he was he's a dude.
Yeah.
He's a dude. I loved watching that cat play. Got a lot of young ones coming up too, right? A lot of new faces, a lot of young cats. You guys got an exciting year coming ahead of you. I mean, really. And
Some good transfers, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the staff did a great job, man, of filling the needs. You know, our first year, we had enough,
Yeah.
right? And we hit lightning in a bottle. Nobody got injured. You know,
That's true.
Everything went well. You know, that kind of thing. And so we were able to get that run. Last year, we started with enough.
Yeah.
But then life hit us, right? Injury, lost our best player, and you know we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
And so this year we wanted to make sure we had more than enough. So if you took a piece away, we're still an NCAA tournament team. You know, if something happens. So
Right. And you do it. Listen, you crack me up on Twitter, dude. And your lives. I love it. I love everything about it. But you know, kids see that, right? On Instagram. Kids see that kind of stuff. And I think you guys do. You guys have an amazing mix of your ability to get out to the public, and you know the kids can see how you interact with them. And then on game days, K-State's always sharing pictures and photos and stuff of you with the recruits in the stands and stuff like that. Like you guys do an amazing job of building off each other, and the fact that they say this is a family, this isn't just a job. You know what I'm saying? That's why Bailey calls you guys famo all the time, right?
Yeah. No, that's just my name.
That's your name.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just
not
you.
for everybody.
nobody else can call her famo, and nobody else could call him famo. They have their own little secret handshakes and everything. And if you mess with it, it messes up his mental for the day.
Messes everything up.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
call her family.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't. That's why you got the chicken tenders or the fries.
Exactly.
The Bailey Basham special.
Yes.
Jeez.
So we got to bring it up. We got to bring up, we were in Manhattan
We were in Manhattan.
not too long ago. We were interviewing Coach Kleiman, and we had Avery Johnson on the podcast. And we were just talking about it before we got on. Apparently, you were on a plane heading down to Arkansas, huh? But I guess that wasn't the case. He was saying,
Dude. I'm with Bailey while this is all being spread, all this information, this rumor's been spread. I'm with
yeah,
Bailey.
that was wild.
Oh,
We're with her.
Really?
We're at the Manhattan Country Club. It was the Golden Cats golf tournament. So all the former players, they put on this golf tournament, and I'm with Bailey, and her phone is blowing up. She's like, "What is this?" And it was the most serene feeling in the world. I told Coach Dowling when you were walking to set here, I said, I don't have a lot of money, but when that was all going down, I was getting ready to write whatever money I had to keep you boys in town.
what was crazy is that I was on a flight with Gene going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gene was there. Me and my wife and Gene and Kathy, we were on the same flight.
Yeah.
And then Ray and I, we go upstairs, and then we'll come back down because we're going somewhere, and we come around the corner and we see someone who we know and they know us, but apparently they had seen what was on Twitter, and she looked like she saw a ghost. She was like, hold on, it says you're. I'm like, well, okay, so I'm here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty wild.
What that whole situation, right? Because schools are going to call, right? You're
Yeah.
winning games. It's never going to. You ask Coach Snyder all the time how many schools called him, right? They're always going to call when you're winning, right? But to see our fan base when that was going down and how shocked they were, because you guys are a missing puzzle piece to K-State Nation. We've had football for all these years. That's what people always say. We got football. Well, dang it, we got basketball too, right? And this train's been moving, And now we got enough steam in this train to absolutely just knock everybody off the track. And that's what you guys brought to that table, right? And so to see all those alumni and boosters that were in that room and they were reading Twitter, I mean, it was a surreal feeling.
It was a panic.
It was a big panic.
Yeah.
Well, it beats the alternative,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like people trying to run you out of town.
Yeah.
I mean, so
That's true.
It's a compliment to our program, our staff, our players, our fans. We got something special, and people are seeing it, and they're trying to replicate it or get part of it. But you just can't replicate what we do.
Right. Gene's awesome to work with, isn't he?
Oh, he's incredible.
He's the best.
He is so cool.
It's incredible.
I've met him a couple times, and so the first time I ever met Gene is when Coach Kleiman got hired, and we were at a Power Cat auction, and Coach Kleiman made his first appearance in Manhattan, and Gene's walking by, and I got a beer in my hand, he's got a beer in his hand, and I said, Mr. Taylor, you don't know who I am. I played here back in the day, but I'd like to cheers to that hire right there. He goes, I'm not cheersing, we're chugging. And that was my first interaction with Gene. But, he does such an amazing job interacting with the people in Manhattan and around the area. It's blue collar territory, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it is. They're farmers, they're ranchers, they're business owners. Not a lot of white collars running around Marshall County and Washington County, Kansas. So,
all right. So when you just said farmers, ranchers, blue collar, and then the engine was that the sound effect?
No, that was just happenstance.
Wow, that was pretty cool. I was like, man, they made that happen.
hey,
that would have been good.
Hey, weird stuff happens
Salad
on this
bar?
podcast. Have you seen Jungle Law? You've seen the commercials for the Jungle Man, the lawyer?
No.
So it's called Jungle Law. He's in Kansas City. His marketing ploy is he's Tarzan, okay? And so he literally has a Tarzan cape on, and he's flying through the jungle, and he's a DUI attorney. And he's the most interesting man you've ever met in your entire life. That's how he markets himself.
He has 73 billboards
73 billboards.
at $2,000 a month, which I don't know the math. It's a couple $1 million a year.
Yeah.
And just billboards.
Just billboards. In
Nuts.
Omaha, Kansas City, and in
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's how he built his career, right? And so he has all these wild animals. He's got pythons. He's got, crocodiles.
Well, he came on our show, and he brought his
owl.
He brought his owl, so he had the owl on the set.
And it's just sitting like right here. And I mean, this is a wild ass owl, okay? A horned owl. And it's sitting here, and I looked at him like, Tristan, is he going to take off? No, he'll be all right. He's kind of hanging out. This owl takes off, dives right at our camera, knocks the light over, and the owl is out of here.
No way.
Yeah, so it left a feather behind. And so I hit that owl's feather. And
Wow.
so weird stuff happens on this pod. Ironic stuff happens on this pod. That was one of them.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah. We had Justin Reed. You guys have heard of Justin Reed before, safety for the Chiefs.
Yes.
So he is, you hear like a guy in the NFL or safety, he's making a lot of money. You know what this cat drove up in? A 2018 F-150 with 18-inch rims on it.
Nice.
And got out, and I said, man, Jay Reed. He's like, hey, it's got like 167,000 miles on it, and it gets me around. I'm like, you know
gotta
what?
love it.
That's a smart guy. So what's this season look like? What are we excited about? Different schedule this year, right?
Yeah, the Big 12 is the Big 12, and it got better. And last year, we were the best. The year before last, we were the best basketball conference in the country, right? And we added 4 teams, and one of the 4 teams we added was the conference champion.
Yeah.
Right? And this year, we've best basketball conference in the country, and we're adding 4 teams, and one of the 4 teams is a team picked to win the national championship, right? In the conversation of it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we just got better. So, they're talking about 5 teams that they feel have a chance. This is you guys, right?
Right.
And we get to play at least 5 games. In some cases, we play some of them twice. So there'll be at least 6 games against teams that people project have a chance to win a national championship.
Right.
You got to love that as a competitor.
100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, you love it as a competitor, love it as, a recruiting opportunity. I mean, you're getting to play in the best conference in all of America,
Yes.
I'm sure you hear it all the time, and obviously as a diehard K-Stater, There's 2 games you just got to win. Just I'm ready for it to happen.
Which ones are those?
You
Don't say
already
it.
know.
Don't say it.
I ain't saying it.
Don't say it.
Hey, I'm telling you right now.
Don't say it.
I ain't saying it
Okay, good.
because I'm telling you one thing right now. Back to back, we're gonna get after them. Okay, the Cats are hot, and you know I have to come to Bramlage because every time I come,
We win.
Yeah.
we win and we storm the court.
Keep on coming.
No, we didn't storm last year.
No, that's right, we didn't. That's right.
That's over.
That's right.
We're not
That's
doing
over.
that no
That's
more.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
No more.
yeah.
Now, to win, like, to me, that was one of the coolest things. We beat 2 top 10 teams on our floor and did not storm the court. Actually, 3.
3.
That tells you something right there.
Yeah, and we didn't storm the court. And so proud of our students and our fans.
And
that,
you killed the chant too.
We're buying in. I kind of, I didn't do a good job last year. And so I've kind of heard it coming back this year. And so I'm going to do a better. It's kind of like we took a flu shot the first year, right?
Yep.
And then thought there wouldn't be another strand come rolled around.
Here it comes.
Good analogy.
And we didn't. We got to get your flu shot every year. We got to. It's about the culture. It's about preaching. This thing is about KSU.
Yeah.
It's not about anybody else. And when you have, we're gonna have 4 of the top 10 ranked high school basketball players on campus for visits, right? We don't want them hearing about another school.
Not another school. That's right.
Yeah, let's keep this thing about KSU. And so I'll do a better job this year of getting the message out and meeting with all the student groups and stuff so that we can
That's so
really
cool.
just put it away.
That is so cool. Obviously you have a lot of passion, right? For, you're a Christian, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, God above everything else. But that takes a lot of passion along with everything else that you guys do, right? To help change the mindset of a student base, right? Think about that. You're not trying to you're not trying to just impact 15 guys on a basketball team. Now you're trying to impact an entire student base.
Yeah. Well, our student body, they're the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not the same without them. And what they bring to the game, the energy in Bram when they're in there at the football stadium, and I have 2 kids at K-State.
Yeah.
And I would hope they're not athletes, but I would hope that somebody, whether a professor or someone working at an office or whatever, would take the time if they ever needed help to pour into their lives.
Yeah.
And so it's a calling for me. I just love our students. I love the synergy of the student body and the city of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right? Our fraternities and sororities and different student groups are always doing something, whether it's to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club, the Salvation Army, battered women. There's just all these different reading at elementary schools, and they do so much for the city. And I just absolutely love that about them.
No doubt. I love that. So you've been on the cat backing tours. You guys have got to do all that. What do you think about some of these small towns in Kansas? How many beef fries we eat?
I don't eat beef.
Really?
No, I don't. I haven't in 26 or 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, because when I grew dreads, I had to ask my dad permission because my dad is a Rastafarian, and
Okay.
he was like, all right, you got to give up certain things. So I just happened to not go back. But I did grow up.
So you got
eating
good. You got good cholesterol then.
it. I think so.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
It can't be bad if you don't go to the doctor.
I go. Coach
Okay.
makes sure he's big on that,
Yeah.
going to the doctor and getting checked
So
out.
Doc Wright's still pulling labs, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
absolutely.
go. I love it. So, but Scott City, they have the whole beef fry deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Coach had a lot of those.
Do you like them?
I tried it.
Yeah.
It's
respectable.
Hot sauce and ketchup make anything taste
Covers everything
Tastes
up.
good.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's fun. I'll try anything once. I'm all about it.
When you guys go to those cat backing tours, these small towns, it literally makes those people's year, right? To see you guys and Coach Kleiman and the athletes in the small little Marysville, Kansas, right? It's a big deal,
You know what's the best thing about going to those? I don't even consider them small towns, but going to those towns is you see the drive, you see how far these people come from, and to come to our games. And Coach tell our players about it in practice. These people deserve your very best. They're driving 4 and 5 hours with their families, chugging along to come to watch us play. So it makes you just have a greater appreciation for the fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that definitely my respect, my appreciation, love for our fans like grew on that Western Kansas tour. Like he said, they're farmers, right? They're getting up early in the morning, they do their work, then they're jumping in the car and they're driving those hours, and then they're going to drive back after the game.
That's everything to them.
Yeah, and get up early in the morning. So man, and we won't dive on the floor for a loose ball.
Right.
Right. Like we won't take a charge. We won't give our very, very best.
Yep.
For what they're doing for us. So yeah, that's really cool. But we are. It's not just the cat. We're going to
Dodge City
on the 5th, October 5th, and we're going to do a practice out there.
Oh, that's cool.
An open practice, and so that Western Kansas fans,
That's
great.
They're going to be able to come in, and the kids, and we're going to have posters so that they can. The players are going to sign autographs, and so like we love our fans.
I love that. Yeah, you're right. I remember as a kid, I've always been a K-Stater my whole life. It's all hour north of Manhattan. That's all I knew was K-State football and basketball, right? Yeah. And football season's right. We're harvest right now, right? We're out picking corn and cutting beans, and I'll never forget. I was in the grain cart, Dad was in the tractor, and we both had the game on the radio. And we both had little K-State flags, and the Cats would score. We'd stick our hand out the window and celebrate while we were picking corn and cutting beans. Like that's what we had to do. You got to get the grain out. So you're right. The fans are so passionate, especially these small town blue collar guys. They're so passionate about the Cats, and it's a big commitment for them to drive 4 or 5 hours. And that's what Coach Snyder always told us. If these folks are gonna spend the money that they spend to come to your games, to tailgate, to buy the gear, and you're gonna complain about maybe 1 extra sprint, 2 extra sprints, you need to check yourself. Yeah. You need to you figure out what's most important to you. So
Love it.
cool.
Who should we watch for this year? I mean, is there anybody kind of under the radar that?
Well, they want them to stay under the radar.
Yeah. I mean, who's the guy we should watch for this year?
Everybody is going to know about Doug McDaniel and
Right.
Coleman Hawkins. And, obviously, Chor came in with a big rep from what did in the NCAA tournament. And, but Brendan Housen, Max Jones, C.J. Jones, those 3 guys, man, you just see him every day. Brendan coming from Villanova, he was used to high-level basketball and the athletes and that kind of thing. And we're just freeing him up to do what he can do. And but Max and CJ, it was a physical adjustment, mental adjustment because of the size of the body, the speed, and all of that. And you can see him starting to get comfortable now. The game is slowing down for him, and they've been playing really well. And David Castillo he's just not a regular freshman. Man.
He's a dog, isn't he?
Man,
unbelievable.
He's
can't wait.
He's so mature.
Yeah.
His approach to everything is just, he's so mature, and he wants to be coached, and he's not afraid of the moment. And so there's a just of some of the new guys, some of the names people already know about Hugo.
Speaking of David, didn't you guys get a billboard with his face on it right outside of his hometown?
I can't recall.
I think like
Or somebody
it's
did.
for ticket sales.
Ticket sales.
Yeah.
But they put his face right outside of his town.
Yeah, after he signed.
I love that's right. It was the athletic department that did
Yeah.
that. I remember seeing that on Twitter. That's awesome, man. I love that.
David Kusan is going to have a big year.
Yeah.
This is his year. A guy that's been here for 3 years, knows what we want, know what we expect. The joy that he's coming to practice with every day, and the leadership he's showing our guys, it's a joy to watch. Because usually guys don't get to the year 3 anymore in this new cycle.
Right.
So, he's a special human being, special family.
Who's the last cat out of the gym every day? Like, who's that guy putting in the extra work?
Well, we practice in the mornings, and so a lot of them come back at night. And,
Gotcha.
We have quite a few guys.
Yeah.
That they spend time in the gym.
That's awesome.
But that was our goal, right? In recruiting, is to find guys who are addicted to the game.
Yeah.
And they all say they want to make a living at this thing, and you just can't show up for 3 hours of practice and make a living at this thing.
Right. So I got to find out about when we'll wrap this up here shortly. I know you guys got a big donor deal to get to. We're in Manhattan. It's off season. We're gonna go out and have a bite to eat. Like, where are we going? Like, where's the place?
Reem's house.
There you go.
Yeah, my wife she's special in the kitchen. That's why I got that belt.
What's she cooking?
Yeah, what's your specialty?
Whatever.
Not beef.
Nah, not beef. Anything chicken, but whatever. She's special in the kitchen.
Hey, they make this. It's like a crawfish bisque,
Oh wow.
but it's not like just the creamy sauce. Like there's crawfish meat in it. And they take the heads of the crawfish and they make a stuffing and put it in it, and then they cook it, slow cook it. And, it is
Let's go.
Wow,
unbelievable.
that sounds interesting.
Put that over some rice, turn it into etouffee.
Yes, you know what?
Yeah,
Hey,
what
dude.
you're doing.
Oh man.
Hey, I had a teammate, Eric Benoit, he was OG Louisiana, and his
Really?
wife, he was married when I was in college.
Wow.
And she was making all that. Oh, let's go. I'm in. All right, so what's our favorite cuisine? Obviously, you're not eating beef. Like, what's your favorite food? What is it? Is it steak? What's your go-to?
I like pizza.
He likes pizza, but his favorite steak is next gen cattle. Next gen.
Going next gen. I love it.
Next
There
gen,
it is.
baby.
Next gen and foots, right? There you go. Hey, you know, one of my teammates, he played at Kansas State. They started a big processing operation, Herzog Meat Co. Which coach is it? He comes up and gets oxtail from him all the time. One of the football coaches, Coach Tuiasosopo, will drive up here and order like 150 pounds of oxtail.
Oxtail is expensive. We actually need the hookup on that.
Yeah, we need that hookup.
Oh, dude, they got oxtail for days.
Really?
Yeah.
My wife will go crazy for that.
Yeah.
You know, oxtail, that's like $40-$50 a pound.
Yeah, they've got he'll come up and meet Brian up here in town, and 150 pounds of oxtail comes straight back to Manhattan.
Wow.
You
we gotta
better get some over here
bro,
right now.
we got to meet this guy.
All right, I got you. Tuiasosopo's holding out on these cats.
I know.
He's holding on the oxtail.
My
man.
wife would be happy. She was like, oxtail?
We got it. We got it. See that? That's how that works.
Maybe we won't send you cowboy boots. We'll send you some oxtail.
Man.
Speaking of that, Greg, would you get these guys some boots? Come on, man. Go get them a pair. Go get them a pair of custom made. Get them some Caymans. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
What's your favorite thing about Manhattan?
Oh. At what age?
We're not talking about Aggieville. We're not talking about Aggieville.
No.
Anything besides Aggieville.
You know, my favorite thing about Manhattan, I'm going to give the cliche comment, it's the people, right? Because that place eats, breathes, and sleeps Kansas State athletics and just Kansas State in general. And the chef's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, we go to every breakfast. Yeah.
I'll crush some chef.
What do you get there?
Just B&G.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if they have it at Early Edition anymore. They used to have this thing called the Kobe. It's this chicken dish. So it was like 6 scrambled eggs, fried chicken, hollandaise,
sounds
and like
good.
melted cheese on top of it. You have to ask Famo.
Okay.
She'll know about the Kobe.
Ask Famo.
She'll know about it. But honestly, it's close to home for me. I was born and raised in Marshall County, Kansas, so we didn't go on vacations when I was a kid. We farmed. We had a cow-calf operation. We had a farrow to finish hog operation, and my dad worked a full-time job from he was 18 till he was 65. So my mom did too. So when they weren't at their day job, we were farming and on the weekends. So a vacation to us was get to go to Manhattan.
Okay.
Or you get to go to Lincoln because we were right in between, Lincoln and Manhattan. So that was kind of like my summer vacation home was Manhattan.
Okay.
So yeah.
I got one last question
I like
for you.
that.
I'm ready.
No. I like the quesadillas at the chef.
At the show,
What is it called? The
But
Dang?
the thing is the Dang quesadilla.
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
You need to change the D to a T.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
yeah.
Hey,
Add some jalapenos to it, and
chef, we know you're watching this. Can we get a name change? Come on now.
Tell us about your brother, Cole. Tell us about your brother, why he's so special to you as a teammate. Because I want to, what you said to me off camera about him,
Yeah.
I want to be able to show this clip to our players how important teammates mean.
For sure. So I wasn't like an all-star player at Kansas State, okay? Solid 4.5-year guy. I am the most expensive player in Kansas State football history, just so you know. I almost died on the field twice.
Oh, wow.
I had 2 heart surgeries, 2 knee surgeries, and a shoulder reconstruction in 4.5 years. Wow. And so my heart rate was 245 beats a minute, one practice. I was actually starting left tackle at the time. And I went down on the field, and Matt and Mindy cut my helmet off me, and they brought the ambulance in, and they got my heart rate from 245 down to 65 with a little bit of, I think they call it iocin, basically what they're giving, cardiac patients to get their heart to stop. And didn't know what it was. Went over to Mercy Hospital. They said I had vertigo, and that I had anxiety, and they sent me back to practice, and they cleared me. So I went back out. We were still doing 2-a-days at that time, so I went back out to the field, got my new helmet and my new pads, and Coach Snyder said, "If you're clear, you're clear. Let's roll. Are you prepared to play?" I said, "Yeah, I am." Started doing it again, whatever, long story. And it was now doing it when I was not practicing. So when I was just walking to and from, my heart was flying. And so I lived with Cole at the time, and I don't have any brothers or sisters. I don't have any cousins in town. My brothers were the guys that I played with. And Matt and Mindy said, "Hey, if you can have one of your roommates check on you in the middle of the night just to make sure you're good to go." And so Cole would wake up every 2 hours to come check on me and make sure I was good to go.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then now on top of that, so him and I both had labor and surgery on the exact same day. So hear me out on this. So this was my left. See, he's got terrible shoulders too, like terrible shoulders. I had my left arm in my sling. He had his right arm in his sling, and we both had the same sling on, and we're walking into Aggieville to go have a couple beers in the off-season. Hey, I'm not even kidding you.
Of course. That doesn't surprise me.
We walk into Tubby's. This is off season. Season's over. We walk into Tubby's, and the door guy's like, "Nah, man, you guys can't. You guys are playing. Like, what is this? Like, making fun of somebody?" We're like, "No, bro. Like, we just had surgery." It's like, "No, man. You guys have literally like you're walking together in your braces." And everybody's staring at us, taking pictures with us, like making fun of us. And then we walk out, and I'm wearing boots with a leather sole, and I slip and fall right on my my leg.
Oh, it hurt me right now.
Yeah, it was February. Boom, right back on it. And so and I want you to imagine Cole. He's got his arm all jacked up. Okay, my arm's all jacked up. He's trying to help me up, and we're like this. He can't get me up. I'm wearing 317 at the time. Right? He can't get me up. And everybody's thinking we're jacking around. They think we're joking. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so Cole's, he was my best man at my wedding. Cole's been there for me my dad passed away 2 years ago, and he was the first guy to call. He was the first guy to show up to the funeral, first guy to show up to whatever I needed. And Bailey's the same way. So you have a very, very special person on that staff, and her.
Absolutely.
And a very special person as a spouse. So, yep. That's my relationship with Cole.
I love it.
But hey, he's terrible at Call of Duty, though. I'll be murking on him. He's throwing his remote through the wall. He's terrible. Hey, man, you trash.
Hey, tell him, what did you weigh when you came into freshman year? How much did you weigh?
I signed my.
This is crazy.
I signed my letter of intent as a left tackle. I was 6'7.5", 217 pounds.
You gained 100 pounds?
I gained 100 pounds.
And how fast was that?
So, because I was a 5-guard in basketball.
Oh,
See,
okay.
hey, Northern Iowa gave me a little look. 6'7" white dude in small town Kansas and throwing people out of the gym.
How fast did you gain 100 pounds? It was quick.
So I was the only 5, so I played every minute. So I went from like 265 in football. I got down to 217 in high school. And then
once you got to Manhattan.
I threw shot put. I think I came in at like 240. And I went from 240 to 285 in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out the Derby. The old Derby Dining Center, man.
Real good. Real good.
But see, that was under Coach Prince. Because you guys have heard about the Coach Prince era in Manhattan, right?
Vaguely. I stay away from that one.
Yeah. So I'm one of those guys. Because I got recruited by Snyder, came underneath Coach Prince.
Okay.
But yeah, we went from I was like 215, or 315, 317 my last year. And I came in, I signed my letter of intent at 217.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a lot of food, man. It was terrible.
Unbelievable.
Anything else you guys want to shout out? Anybody you want to give a direct shout out that we can send you a short clip and you can send it to them?
Bailey and Cole for sure, and just the entire K-State, family, the fan base. It's unbelievable. They're the reason why we work hard every day. There's a reason why we put our best foot forward every single day. Gene Taylor, of course, his great leadership and doing us a solid and hiring Coach Tang and keeping him here. So it's unbelievable to be at K-State.
I love it.
Well, we hope and we pray that all your guys stay healthy this year, and wish you the best this year.
Coach Tang, any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to the staff. I got the best staff in America.
I love it.
I love living life with them, and just like this, if you came, hung out in our office, you'd walk away and go, man, those people really love each other.
I love it.
It's a blast.
Hey, let's go get them this year, baby.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's have
do
a
it.
year, all right?
Let's do it.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, and thanks for tuning in for another season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2 of the Huddle Podcast. I'm Caleb,
Kevin.
and we'll see you soon.